channel. I know it's been a while, but I'm gonna be consistent this time. This is a Q&A about sickle cell. A lot of y'all ask me questions on Instagram and TikTok, and I've been posting a lot more behind the scenes of what goes down in the emergency room when I'm in crisis. So I have questions that are being asked from videos like that when I post them. What's the difference between having the trait versus sickle cell? I want to start off with what sickle cell is, period. Sickle cell disease is a genetic. You're born with it, so both of your parents have to have the S gene. So my mom and dad both have the S gene, and I was born with SS. Now, both of your parents can have the trait, so both of my parents have the trait, which means it's a 25% chance of a child coming out with the full-blown disease. Now, if only one of your parents have the trait and the other parent doesn't, then it's still a 25% chance of your child coming out with the trait, but they're not going to come out with the disease. Both parents have to have both traits for a child to have the full-blown disease. So both my mom and dad have the S gene, which I was born with sickle cell SS. Sickle cell SS is one of the most severe type of sickle cell diseases that you can have. So the top two are SS and hold on, I need the name. The wind's strong. Oh, sickle beta thalassemia. So sickle beta thalassemia 0 is as severe as SS. And then there's sickle beta thalassemia plus, which is a milder version of sickle cell. There's also sickle cell SC, which is a milder version of SS. They all have the same complications. We all have pain crisis. We all can get infections. We all have the same type of complications. It's just SS and beta thalassemia 0 are more severe. So we have more chances of pain crisis. We have more high risk of infections. We're hospitalized more often, things like that. So that's the difference between the disease and the trait. The trait, you're just more of a carrier, but you can still pass the trait along to your children. So it's important to know your genotype. It's important for all parents to get tested so they can know their genotype, and they can know before they actually start procreating, before they start procreating and making kids, to understand if they're going to pass anything along. Oh yeah, I wanted to add also, if people don't understand exactly what sickle cell disease is. So when you're born with sickle cell, our cells are shaped like a half crescent moon. Most people that don't have sickle cell, your blood cells are shaped like a donut, like a regular cell. So our half crescent shaped cells, they're more hard and they're sticky, and they get blocked by the blood flow, which causes to have pain crisis.
When you say sticky, you just mean like it got points on the end of it, so it don't flow through the vessel. Like, it's not sticky as in texture, it's sticky as in because it got points in it.
Yeah, sorry, it's a bug. Hold on, I wrote it down. Let me read it. Where is it? Okay, so they're hard and sticky, which can block blood flow, and they break down faster. So with a regular red blood cell, it doesn't break down as fast as a half crescent does. So that's what I mean when it comes like sticky. It literally sticks to our veins, which causes pain crisis. And the blood cells are getting deprived of oxygen, so that's why it becomes sticky. When it's deprived from oxygen, it gets harder for it to flow through the blood. The symptoms from our blood cells getting blocked and stuff are pain crisis, fatigue, anemia, and higher infection. So if you look up sickle cell disease, it's going to come up sickle cell disease anemia. So we are anemic. We get colder way faster than people. We have to take iron to make sure that we're staying at a a better state, better flow than everybody else to prevent pain crisis. Oh yeah, I also wanted to add, with sickle cell, I'm the oldest of 5, and I'm the only one that was born with sickle cell disease, SS specifically. Most of my siblings, I'm honestly not sure if my siblings have the trait, but I know both of my parents have the trait, which is why I was born with sickle cell. Like I said, every time my parents had a child, it was like flipping a coin with different outcomes. A 25% chance of one of my siblings to have sickle cell disease. So if they were to have another child, it would be a 25% chance of that child having sickle cell. It's not a guarantee. It's like rolling the dice. I was asked a story time of how I found out I had sickle cell, what were the warning signs, and how do I manage a crisis. So I can't really tell you how I found out because I was born with it, but I was born a month early and I was a premature baby. So when I was born, I had to be put on oxygen, and they had me in the NICU for a while. So they ran tests and things like that. And that's when my parents and my grandparents found out that I had sickle cell. And from then on, they just had to pay closer attention. I believe I had pain crisis while I was a baby when I was younger. So I was in and out of the hospital. I was on oxygen for a really long time as a baby. I'm not really sure when I got off oxygen, but there's baby pictures of me on oxygen. So yeah, they ran tests and things like that, and that's when they found out that I had sickle cell when I was born, and plus me having pain crisis and stuff like that. Now that we're in like 2026, you can get tested while you're pregnant to find out if your baby's going to have sickle cell disease. And like I said beforehand, both parents can find out the genotype of their blood cells and stuff to figure out if their baby will have sickle cell disease. It's important to know that if you have the trait and your partner has the trait, it's a 25% chance that your child will have sickle cell disease. So, just be prepared to understand the causes that's going to come with that if you decide to have children. How do I manage having a child and a significant other while living with sickle cell? So when Monte and I got together, I definitely told him that I had sickle cell because he had to take me to the hospital, so he kind of found that out when I had a pain crisis. But he didn't freak out. He woke up 3 in the morning, took me to the hospital, and then, we had a conversation later. I found out that he also dated somebody previously that had sickle cell. Now, I'm not sure, honestly, he can answer that question, how much he knew about sickle cell, like when we got together, but he knew about it. I'm sure he knew a little bit about it, but I definitely educated him more. So having a significant other that understands what sickle cell is and how to help me manage it makes my life much easier. Now, if I was with somebody who didn't care, didn't show up to the hospital, we'd be together, because that's insane. Like, I need you right by my side advocating for me, because I'm not able to advocate for myself all the time. So I need somebody there to listen and understand what's going on and tell the doctors, no, we're not doing that, or, advocating for what I need. So managing my sickle cell while living with somebody or having my significant other around is a lot easier, because he understands exactly what's going on. When I tell him I'm not feeling good, he helps with Kemet. Of course, like, that's his father. He helps with Kemet. That's his son. So he's going to step in and do what he needs to do. So if I'm not feeling well, and honestly, Kemet's 3, so he understands too. Like, if mommy's not feeling good, we're going to let mommy rest. It just makes life a lot easier having a very good child and a spouse that truly cares. So, and as of right now, like, I'm a stay-at-home mom. I do teach Kemet about, like, what's going on. He's been to the emergency room with me plethora of times, so he knows how to act when we're in the hospital. If I have to stay in the hospital, he knows how to act. He's not running up and down the hallway. He'll chill out and watch TV or just play with his toys. And once he gets older and he's able to understand, I'm going to definitely explain more to him about what's going on with my body and what sickle cell is. And So if he has the trait, well, Kemet does have the trait, but for him to understand that when it's time for him to have kids, he needs to make sure that his partner doesn't have the trait. You know, he's going to be very well educated. And as a 3-year-old right now, he's very understanding. So that's not a problem. And it also helps to have a village. When my mom and dad were here, it was a lot easier too, because if I'm in the hospital, they're going to come watch him and take care of him. Now that it's just Monte and I, Monte does the best he can. He won't, like, he'll miss school if he has to. But we still have a village. Like, we find people that can help watch Kemet if I'm in the hospital and things like that. So it's mostly important to have a village and a team where people help and care about you. And just having a significant other that understands what you're going through and is supportive of anything that you're going through. So if you don't have that, it's kind of hard to date while having sickle cell, because you have to have that support system. I got a question that says, details of what a crisis feels like, what triggers them, and how to manage them at home. I did write it down, so hold on.
Keep up.
Keep up? I am keeping up. Okay, so the best way that I can explain, like, a pain crisis and what it feels like, honestly, the worst pain crisis feels like you're being electrocuted, to be honest. But the pain is inside your bones, and it feels like someone is drilling or stabbing you from the inside out. Also, it's a mix of burning. It's a mix of burning, throbbing, and pressure all at once. It depends on where the pain is. Growing up, I've always had pain in my feet, so I couldn't really walk on my feet. They would swell up. I would have to walk with crutches. Now that I'm a little bit older, my pain is in my lower back, my elbows, my knees, my lower legs. Sometimes like my lower legs, my calf area, it prevents me from walking. When it's in my lower back, I can't sit up regular like how I'm sitting. Sometimes I have to lean back against a chair or lay down. But when you're in a severe pain crisis, there's no position that really helps it. No standing, no laying down, no sitting. Like, it just doesn't help. You're just in pain and you really can't do anything about it. Heat helps. Heating pads help. Heating blankets help. Massages help. I use Tiger Balm. That helps. What else helps? I would say just when you're managing your pain at home, taking your medicine. Well, yeah, and yeah, that's a question I got too. So, eating healthier helps. But when I say managing your pain, we have pain medication that we can take. So if it's a manageable crisis at home, making sure that you're taking your medicine. Sometimes hot baths help. Sometimes the hot tub helps if you got a hot tub. What else? I mean, we are on a lot of different medications. Most people are on hydroxyurea. Some people are on Endari. I'm on a new trial medication, so just keeping up with your medicine, staying hydrated is the most important. Staying hydrated, all of those things can help prevent a crisis and, you know, keep your blood levels where they're supposed to be. And Monte mentioned eating healthy, so I did get a question that says, can what I eat minimize crisis? And yes, I stopped eating meat like 11 years ago. I stopped eating meat. I don't eat red meat. I don't eat chicken. I don't eat pork. I don't eat none of that. I eat strictly like vegan. Sometimes I still eat eggs and stuff like that. But me minimizing meat out of my diet, that helps my crisis a lot. I don't get as sick anymore as I used to. Leafy greens help. Beets help a lot. We got a whole list of things that will help when I'm in a crisis. Juicing helps, eating more fruits, vegetables, all of that type of stuff helps. So less junk food. So when you're in a crisis, yes, the way you choose to eat definitely helps a lot better. But even when you're not in a crisis, choosing to eat better will help you prevent crisis at home. I mean, and it'll help you manage them too. And I mean, you're just way more healthier. So just choosing to eat better. Let's see. So yeah, I mean, I guess that's basically what a crisis feels like. My last horrible crisis was in September, and that pain was everywhere, and it comes on suddenly. I mean, pain crisis, it could build up, it could come on suddenly, or, you know, just pop up out of nowhere. But that pain crisis, it came out of nowhere. We just was on the road, and I just got to Denver. As soon as we got there, maybe 3 hours later, I'm in a pain crisis. Yeah. So that one just showed up suddenly. Sometimes when I'm at home and I can manage it, I will tell Monte, like, I'm not feeling good, my back hurts, you know, and I take my medicine, I'm laying on the heating pad, he'll give me back massages wherever my pain is, and that will, you know, that will help it. But if it doesn't get any better and it continues to build up, then I go to the emergency room. And also, it's good to note that these pain crises, they're not just 1 day, 2 days. They can last days, weeks, months. Like, I have friends that have sickle cell that have been in the hospital for months. Now that I'm older, I'm not in the hospital that long anymore, but when I was younger, I used to be in the hospital for up to a month, you know, and things like that. But now it's more like a week, sometimes 3 days. It's not that long anymore because I know how to manage it, and because of the medication I take too. So, but yeah, it's good to know that people with sickle cell can be in the hospital for a very long time. And another question I got was, what's a small thing most people don't realize makes a big difference when living with sickle cell? Tiny habits or lifestyle choices that prevent crisis make daily life. How does it make daily life more manageable? So, a small thing most people don't realize is something I kind of just explained, was your eating habits. Your eating habits can help your daily life more manageable. Staying hydrated can make your daily life more manageable. When I say stay hydrated, I mean drink more than, what is the average? Yeah, it's like drinking more than the average. But if you're not a big fan of water, drink coconut water, eat watermelon. Like, there's other ways for you to stay hydrated. You don't have to just guzzle down water all day, but stay hydrated. Me, I'm drink some water. Kim is funny, but I stay hydrated. Like, we stay with bottles of water. So yeah, but what else are tiny habits? Oh, moving your body. I know that's kind of hard to say with somebody with sickle cell, because sometimes you wake up and your joints hurt. You don't feel like getting out the bed. But honestly, going on a 25-minute walk can make you feel way much better than how you felt waking up that morning. So moving your body helps, and I'm learning that now too. We've been going, if y'all don't code this camera consistently, I'm gonna get fired. But we've been going to the gym consistently, like this week, and before that, my joints and stuff was hurting, but I feel a little bit better now that we've been moving our body consistently. And I kind of get irritated when Monte be gone all day, because, like, why we didn't go to the gym? Anyways, I'm one for the gym now. So just moving your body consistently helps. And to be honest, I have to keep that mindset, because when I have a crisis, it throws me off my routine, and it's harder for me to get back into getting up and just moving around, because when you're in a crisis, sometimes you're just laying around trying to feel better because you can't physically get out the bed. Like, it's hard to move. It's hard to do anything. So it helps when you just get up. Do you have anything else? What's like a tiny habit that helps with
prevention?
Yeah, and
outside.
And something that just makes a big difference. Yeah, sitting outside, getting some sun. The sun helps a lot. Oh, touching grass, putting your feet in the grass, and
Not being stressed.
yes, that is. You know, I'm a big advocate for that, because stress causes pain crisis with people with sickle cell. So
Somebody gonna get dizzy watching this goddamn shit. All right, go ahead. You did a good job. You can sit down. Stress is one of stress is a big trigger for people with sickle cell. So
less stress, minimizing your stress is a very good daily habit. What's another one? When it's very cold outside, I'm from Denver, so, and this is another topic I want to touch on, but I'm from Denver, so another good habit is making sure you're not too cold, or like warming yourself up as soon as possible. Making sure you're not too hot. It's crazy because I'm from Denver, but now I live in Texas, where it's hot all the dang time. So making sure you're not too hot. So during the summertime, keeping water on you, having a fan. I know, cooling off when you can. But just minimizing anything that triggers you. Like you, growing up, you have to know your triggers. And what? Oh, it's about to die. Okay, how long do I got? That's it?
It's beeping red.
Okay.
So that's it. I mean, I have 2 more questions, but it's about like bone marrow and my doctor's experiences. Okay, 2 questions left. The first one is, how do I feel about portacalves and bone marrow transplants and other treatments like gene therapy? And I'm going to educate you guys on what everything is, but I can't really personally say, well, I can say my opinion. So a portacalf, which is called a port, they are for hard sticks. So there are a lot of us, like people with sickle cell, it's kind of hard for them to find a vein. So some of us are hard sticks. So people who are hard sticks, they have to get surgery, and they go into surgery and they get a port. A port goes under your skin, usually in your chest area, connected to a vein. This is where they draw blood, they do blood transfusions, they give you your medicine. Instead of you getting poked over and over and over, they just go straight to your port. If you have a person that doesn't have a port, or they do, and you go to the emergency room or the hospital with them, that's one question that they're always going to get is, do you have a port? I don't have a port. I wasn't always a hard stick. Now I'm getting a little bit older, and the more I go to the hospital, I feel like I am becoming a hard stick because they've been having a hard time. It's irritating me, but a lot of my veins have blown too, so there's certain places that I can't get poked in anymore. But I do not have a port. Also, bone marrow transplant. If you never heard of a bone marrow transplant replaces the bad blood cells, and they give you healthy ones from a donor. So usually when you get a bone marrow transplant, you have to have the same blood type, and it's usually from a sibling. When I was about a freshman in high school, I got tested by all of my siblings. None of them were a match, so we didn't go through with the bone marrow transplant. My parents weren't even a match, and honestly, I'm okay with that. I'm 28 now. I've lived with it, so I'm okay with not getting a bone marrow transplant. But bone marrow is where blood cells are made. It's the closest thing to a cure for people with sickle cell. To get the transplant, you need a perfect match, which is usually a sibling, and your body can reject it, or the new cells can attack your body, which is called a graft versus host disease. Chemo is required, and it's a long recovery time, which is another reason why I too much don't care to get it, because the recovery time is a lot longer. And it can cure people with sickle cell, but it can also cause complications. The next therapy is called gene therapy. It's new and it's more advanced. Instead of you getting a transplant or using a donor, your own cells are modified to fix the sickle cell gene, and it's like editing your DNA to start making healthy blood cells. Personally, in my opinion, it's not the best option because, one, it's very expensive and insurance doesn't cover it. And it still requires chemo. You still have to go do chemo before getting it done. Limited hospitals offer it, and the long-term effects are still being studied. So they haven't figured everything out yet. I've also heard from a sickle cell warrior who's done gene therapy that it's not really a cure. Yes, your blood cells are being replaced, but you still get pain here and there. You still have some complications, but it's not like a sickle cell pain crisis. People hear the word cure and they think it's an easy decision. But these treatments come with serious risk, and for some people it's worth it. For others, managing the disease is the safer option. And the last question that I'm going to answer on this video is, how are my doctor experiences and how am I treated in the emergency room? So, and Monte can vouch for this, but growing up, my doctor experiences were completely different from when I moved out here to Texas. I had a pediatrician hematologist in Colorado, and a lot of people with sickle cell would say Colorado's not the best place for us, blah 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 blah, because of the high altitude. But in my opinion, is where it's at for people with sickle cell, because they care way more than any other place that I've been to. They have specific research for people with sickle cell. They never played around. Anytime that if I had a pain crisis at 3 in the morning, I would call my doctor and they would say, come straight to the hematology floor. And they would have a bed ready for me, medicine ready, blood drawn. I wouldn't have to wait around or nothing. They were handling what needed to be handled to get my crisis under control. So yeah, once I moved out here to Texas and turned 18, I was still going to Children's Hospital for a little bit. I think Children's Hospital out here accepted me up until I turned 21. And Children's Hospital did a way better job than the adult hospitals out here. They didn't question anything about my sickle cell. They handled my treatment well. When I went in for a crisis, they drew my blood, gave me medicine, and did what needed to be done to get my crisis together. Now that I'm an adult, I go into the emergency room, I'm waiting 2 to 3 hours to even get medicine. And that is not okay for a person with sickle cell, because when we have sickle cell pain crisis, it's literally hindering our organs. So our organs can fail at any time. And when the doctors don't take it seriously, it becomes upsetting. One, out here in Texas, they see us as drug seekers because we come in the emergency room so often because we're having pain crisis, and the type of medicine we're getting are narcotics, opioids. They think like we're just coming in for the high, which is not true. Like, we're literally in pain. You can run my labs and see that, you know, this is a real crisis. I also have a hematologist out here. She's a great hematologist, but as of lately, I think maybe it's because I don't have insurance or something, but she ain't been doing what she's supposed to do. Like, it's hindering my crisis, things like that, because I'll ask for pain medicine. She's not refilling my medicine, and she's really not hearing me out either. I have to go through all these hoops just to get an answer. So personally, I want to move from Texas. I don't want to be around anymore these doctors because they're not doing what they're supposed to do. But, you know, I have a family now, so I just can't up and leave. But if I can, I will honestly go get a doctor in Colorado or somewhere else who's going to take my health seriously, and I will travel to see my doctor, because, you know, if this is my life, I want to live it. I have a son, I have a husband. Like, hello, I need to be around. So y'all need to take my health seriously. And how am I treated in the emergency room? Well, I kind of just basically broke that down, but as of lately, the last 2 times that I've been to the emergency room, they've taken me like straight back. They drew my blood. Of course, I had to wait for my results and stuff to come back. They gave me 2 rounds of medicine, and typically for the emergency room, you're supposed to get 3 rounds of medicine before they can just kick you out. But I've gotten 2 rounds of medicine, and then the admitting doctor will come in and tell me that my blood levels are not showing that I'm in a pain crisis, so they're going to send me home. And I've cried, I pleaded, I begged to be admitted, and they still didn't admit me. So if anything was to happen when I went home, they can absolutely be sued for that, because you're sending me home when I'm telling you I'm in pain. Just because my labs say my hemoglobin is over 8.9 and my retic count is as high as it's supposed to be, that doesn't mean I'm not in a crisis. Labs aren't going to show you that I'm hurting. I'm showing you that I'm hurting. I'm not here seeking drugs. I'm here telling you that I'm hurting. I didn't come to the emergency room for fun, because nobody wants to sit in the emergency room for 7 to 8 hours just to not, you know, get anything. But yeah, that's my time, y'all. If you have more questions, please feel free to comment down below. You can also message me on Instagram at Visionary Jazz. And thank you guys for watching Unlocked by Keith.